we lose TikTok. So we'll see how that goes. Let's go. Make sure to drop. Sorry, hair check. Gotta fix the hair. Make sure to drop any questions that y'all have about selling on Amazon down below. We are just getting started, and also finally updated the screenshot here. As you guys see, this is actually yesterday, because Amazon doesn't pull the data for today. So I had the screenshot up. It was like a month old. Everyone was telling me, change it, change it. I'll probably change it out every month just because it's too much to do it every time I get on live. So if y'all want to see live Amazon sales for the day, let's get to 2K likes and 15 shares. We'll make it an easy share goal. Once we get those, I will show live Amazon sales for the day. Let's go. Hey, just saw the boy join. Let's go, my guy. Hey, two of the boys just joined. Let's go. Chris, what up? Chris, one of the mentorship students. Lost, thank you for sharing the live. What do you guys think? Is this camera angle fine? Lost, another one of the boys. We got YouTube up right now as well, so we're going to be going live on both YT and TikTok. I'm going to be talking to all of y'all while I'm on live on both, but we're just going to be building up the YT. I got you on YT and TikTok. Let's go, Chris. Appreciate you, brother. It's kind of like that Jinxie story, bro. Like, I'll go live every day. If I have one viewer and my one viewer is Chris, we'll just chat it up. But it's about being persistent past that just one viewer and seeing where you get to then. The Jinxie story. His dad was his first and only stream view for a whole year, and then he became the most subscribed to Twitch streamer. It's kind of like how many people are going to sit there and work day in and day out with no reward as an Amazon seller, right? Think of all the back end work that I had to. I have some sweet videos. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I'm excited, but I have some sweet videos in the drafts. But there was and it has to do with this story, so many people who didn't see all the back end work when I first started my business. Yes, sir. And Kima, thank you. Kima, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you and everybody in the live vibing. But there were so many people who didn't see the back end work of what I was doing. I've told this story. Whoopsies. I've told this story before, but I'll share it again. When I had first started my business, I remember going and telling everybody. I was at a little get together, and I remember telling everybody, yeah, my company is going to be the next Ignite, which was Dan Bilzerian's company. And I was like, I'm going to be the next Dan Bilzerian. And all I meant by that was, I'm going to be here. My company's going to be here. Like, we're winning. I remember straight up getting laughed at to my face, which I guess I appreciate more than laughing behind my back, but straight up laughed to my face. And then because no one saw the back end work, I saw that I was grinding. I saw that I developed an amazing product. I saw that I was pushing the product, in the way that I was being relentless about the reviews, all these things, but they didn't see that. They didn't need to see it. It wasn't meant for them to believe. A few weeks later, we were at another get together, and this is after I got the #1 bestseller badge. I was looking through videos. I had my video editor actually blur a few things so that I can show you guys all the videos. So I have some videos in my drafts that I made today, kind of like showing my very first order. The reason I've never posted it before is because it has all the labels. Like, I open the boxes and show all the gummies. But as you guys might have seen, one of my more recent videos, I actually just crossed out the label and I showed the very first product that I launched on Amazon. So we have that one. I found a video, this is so sweet, of my product, #1 bestseller. So I just had my video editor blur that out. But all these things happened, right? And I would also take videos because back then I didn't care if people knew what I sold because I wasn't doing social media in this way. It was just the people that I knew, my circle. And I was promoting the product really hard. And I remember posting, it was a trip going through my old Snap memories. And drop your questions down below. I promise I'm going to get to everybody's question, just a little story time. But I remember posting, and it's all in the Snap memories in order, like by date. And it was of my first few orders. It was like the order page, and I maybe had like 10 orders. And then a week later, there's a video of me scrolling like this fast. So it's not like slow scrolling, but scrolling this fast down the page. And it's my order page, just order, 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 order. And I would post videos like that, not to like flaunt it, but it was all marketing. And I'll actually share a little bit about that as well. My brand almost seemed bigger than it was. My brand was big. It was doing good. It was doing good within the community. But kind of think about how content is received nowadays. There's so much stuff that 10 videos ago, you already forgot that one because the next video is in front of you. So it was still like that back then, but I don't think it was as strong as it is today. And so I would be making my posts on my IG story, on my Snap story. I would be doing it on my brand's IG page, brand story. And so all these things were being posted, but I don't know. It was like this sweet wave, and I can't even like describe it. Like I would do anything to go back to that moment and just like relive those feelings and the wave that I was riding. But it was this cool thing where everybody in the community was posting about it. Not even necessarily right away. I had the close people, and I'll remember these people forever because they supported me when nobody else did. But people would like place an order because it was a gummy supplement. So not only would someone buy it once, but once they used it again, they'd buy it again. And so they would post their orders on like their Snap story, and then on their IG story, and they would tag me and they would tag the brand. So I would be reposting it. Their audience would see the pictures that they posted. And it got to a point where, like, no exaggeration, just from IG and social media, like 5 people would be tagging me in their orders a day. So just think about that. Not only am I getting all the other orders from Amazon, but 5+ people a day consistently, day in, day out, were tagging me and posting that they ordered. So it was like this snowball effect. And the brand just, it honestly, and I say this transparently, the vibe was, it was bigger than it actually was. Like, to me, I knew how big the brand was, and it was crushing it. 5 figures a month in top line revenue on Amazon. At some point in the very near future, 5 figures in net profit on Amazon. So the product was doing good, but people were looking at it like it was a multi-million-dollar company. And that almost like elevated the marketing in a way where it just made people buy it more. It's like the Gymshark effect. So that was a really fun run on that product. Got into a little tangent there, but I will be posting more videos of the journey where I started, because I was going through my camera roll, I was going through my Snap memories, and like I said, I just found a bunch of stuff from when I first started. One more thing. It was really cool. I have a video in my drafts about this too. If you go through my camera roll, right, around August of 2018, my camera roll was me partying, me at the raves, me doing all those kind of things. And then you just scroll down a few little scrolls, and then when you start to get to like November, December, you start to see like pictures of my product, of my samples, and it just completely does a full 180 shift from like that party kid, rah, 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 let's go to the rave, to stepping into the shoes of a businessman. So I don't know, document your guys' journey. Even if you're not going to post it on social media, because I didn't decide to do social media till 3 or 4 years into my journey. And so, but looking back on all that stuff, you get the nostalgic feeling, and you almost like step back into the shoes of the vibe when you first started. My bad if this is a repeat question, but do you do wholesale or private label? I do private label. All the numbers that you see on my account, private label. Also, y'all, if we get to 2K likes and 15 shares, I will show live Amazon sales for the day on the computer. Do you disable automatic inventory removal? It really depends. Sometimes we really just don't want to deal with the returns. What's the easiest products to sell on Amazon? Product with good product criteria average reviews, average revenue, all that, as well as a product that has good margins after FBA fees, cost of goods, and shipping. Hope you're having a blessed day, man. You too, Josh. Today is a blessed day. Every day is a blessed day, my friend. Thoughts on leaving 1-star reviews on competitors? I will never do this. I don't respect when people do that. I think it's something that my cousins taught me because they knew that people were doing this to them when they were first starting their business. And I told them, I was like, why don't you guys do it? And this always stuck with me. But different layers. Number one, they're like, no, we don't want to put that negative. We don't want to be those kind of people, right? Think of all the people who do it. We despise those types. So why would we want to, become something that we dislike just to combat it? I don't think that's a good model for life, number one. Number two, they were like, hey, we're not going to focus on this negative energy and we're going to focus on positive energy. And I saw firsthand with them before I even was really blossoming into my journey, I saw firsthand with them that they didn't put any negative energy into the world. They didn't put any negative energy towards their competition in that way. They didn't go and click on their competition's PPC ads because that was a lot easier to waste your competitor's budget back in the day. All they did was focus on winning, and winning they did. Let's go. Appreciate everybody being in here, vibing, asking questions. Hey, Luke, I finally took your advice and launched, but stuffing for reviews as I'm Canadian, but selling in the USA. Vine program, bro. Vine program is going to be your best friend being outside of the States and not having friends and family in the US. I need your help with what? You sold 3 mil in 2 days. No, if you see right here, that says 8/21/2023 to 8/19/2024. It's 2 days shy of a year. Kima, thank you so much for sharing the live. I made 6 figures. Now I'm scaling. Let's go, bro. That's amazing. That is amazing. Matt, thank you so much for the follow. Elegant, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate both of you. I got started with FBA, but I'm having trouble with the product research. What are some tips? I have lots of videos on how to do product research on my page. If you go to the 0 to 1 mil tab on my profile, just the easiest way to find it. I have some videos there on both the product criteria that I use and how I do product research. I use Helium 10's black box tool. Also, y'all run up the likes, tap that screen, hit that share button. If we get to 2K likes, I'll show live Amazon sales for the day, so show some live numbers. And if we get to 4K likes and 20 shares, I will do some live product research on TikTok Live. But we have to hit that goal a little bit before I actually hop off, so it gives me some time to do it. What is the single biggest reason you believe building a business is so hard for people? They're soft. Period. That's it. I'll break it down more. There's lots of reasons, but I just think it comes down to a lack of stomach for challenges and things like that. I don't remember if this is in an upcoming YT video that I'm going to be posting, which new video coming this Monday. So make sure y'all are subscribed. Or if it's in an existing one. But something that I've said is every single person, even the people who are not, will say, no, I'm resilient. I'm one to face challenges and overcome them. I don't care what it takes. I'll do whatever it takes to be successful. Everybody can talk. 10% rule. 10% of the people who say that are actually about it. 10% rule isn't like a legitimate rule, but it's funny because it's almost like a standard. You'll either hear 10 to 20% I generally go by the 10% rule. 10% of people who say they're going to do something, or even if they don't say, 10% of people in the world are going to go on to do something great. 1% of people, so 10% of the 10%, are going to go on to do something substantial. The Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos, the Steve Jobs of the world. 1%. 90% of people, it's not even that they don't have what it takes, but they are just going to choose to live their day in, day out life, and nothing wrong with that if that's what makes you happy. But 90% of people will do that. So why is it so hard for people to build a business? Because most people are in the 90%. Something me and my cousin to this day have always said, like we place ourselves in the 10%, and we'll talk like that, like not pretentious or arrogantly, but we are aware that we're in the 10%. God willing, I'll make it to the 1% one day. And we'll say like, oh, this person's part of the 90%, or yeah, they're just a 90%er. So that's kind of why. And I know it might sound mean, oh man, that was so mean to say. Facts don't care about feelings. Not gonna lie, I do click on PPC ads, but I won't do the 1-star. You're wasting your time clicking on their ads, because Amazon's figured out that people will try to click on ads just to spend competitors' budget. So they have their algorithm has backend to prevent that. So you might be spending 20 minutes of your time clicking on a competitor's ad. Meanwhile, they only probably registered 1 click, and then you just wasted negatively 20 minutes of your time rather than putting that 20 minutes towards something positive. Again, focus on winning. Don't focus on anything else. Like a little silly analogy, but John Jones, the greatest fighter to ever step into a combat sports ring or octagon, maybe he'll studies his opponent and he analyzes them just like you would with product research and product development. You would study the competition, but he doesn't have to do malicious things to win. He focuses on winning. He focuses on being the greatest, and he is the greatest of all time. Focusing on positive energy will get you a lot further than focusing on negative energy. I have a very hard time getting more organic than 45%. I cut ads, lose rank. Any advice? Well, cutting ads isn't how you. Yeah, I'll never cut ads unless they're not performing well. You go harder on ads, but you just structure your strategy to focus on ranking on certain campaigns. Single keyword, top of search, placement modifier, high bids. Don't necessarily focus on ACoS, but focus on your organic rank increasing. If your organic rank increases, how does that affect your tacos? But 45% also is not at a bad point. I'd say a healthy product, majority of sales come from organic. You're 10% off from being at a good point. Focus on your tacos, not your percentage. What's your average monthly income? 6 figures. Let's go. How much do I need to start? For private label, which is the business model that I do, I would say at least 3,500 USD minimum. How to get reviews. The 2 primary ways: friends and family. Have friends and family support the business. And the number 1 way actually would be the Vine program. But that's only available for brand registered sellers. Biggest mistake you made? Made a lot of mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes that I've made that's resulted in failed products is not differentiating my products enough. Just clicking copy and paste what the competition is doing, thinking that's enough to actually move the ball for the brand. That was big. And then also not following the numbers, following emotion rather than data. So I would launch products that I wanted to launch, that I thought would be cool to launch. I thought it would be cool to own this type of business, and then I go launch those types of products. And I don't actually go look at the market numbers and if it's a viable product to go sell on Amazon, and then that product doesn't work out. LLC before starting or once you get the hang of it? The only reason that I wouldn't start an LLC at the start is if it was a capital issue. If not, getting the hang of it doesn't really have to do with an LLC. I need your help with what? Gaio, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody in the live vibing. Y'all, if you see this little arrow, maybe it's right here, maybe it's right here, maybe it's right here. If you click on that and click copy link, it counts as a share to the live. Doesn't do anything. All you got to do is click that, and really helps the live out a lot. If we get to 20 shares, 4K likes, I will do live product research on the live. So I'll show you guys how I do product research, how I analyze potential markets. And then if we get to 2K likes, which is along the way, and 10 shares, I will show live Amazon sales for the day. Yes, sir. Thank you for your time. Of course, my friend. Appreciate you, everybody else in the live vibing. Y'all make sure to go show some love to the last couple of gems that I posted on TikTok. Last video I posted, talk about how one of my mentorship students, he launched his business 11 months ago. Actually, no, now I think from the time he sent me that message, 11 months, I think it's 12 now, 12 months ago. He's currently doing $130,000 in top line revenue across platforms, which is absolutely amazing. And then second to last video that I posted, the most challenging and hardest parts of selling on Amazon. I have the account, but I'm not doing well. Not doing well in what regard? Like, you have products and they're not selling. You can't find products to sell. Lots of different layers to this. I got a question on YT. Would you say that dropshipping craze hurt other sellers? No, I don't really. I don't tend to be the type of person who believes that one industry is going to really hurt another industry in the sense of like drop shipping versus Amazon. Don't get me wrong. There are some industry ending things, like what's an example? Like, I'm sure the internet put a lot of people out of business. I'm sure certain automations put a lot of people out of business. But what I mean, like, when you have two different types of selling platforms, there can be successful drop shipping sellers. I think there can be successful Amazon sellers. I think the only thing that drop shipping did to quote unquote hurt, and this wasn't even drop shipping's fault. I think this was the perception of drop shipping. But like, people are like, oh, you're just drop shipping. Like, you know how many times I get that? Oh, you're just drop shipping products, another drop shipper. But again, I don't think that was on drop shipping. It's people still make it work as a business model. Can't really find differentiators because of competition. Bro, there is always differentiators. I think we were on live one time and someone was like, there's no way to differentiate this type of product. And just on live, I opened up page one and just boom, 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 found 3 differentiators within like 5 seconds. There's always, always, always differentiators that you can make in a market. I've actually maybe in my entire lifetime of like trying to develop products, and I've looked at over 3,000 individual products, I've maybe seen like 10 that I couldn't differentiate. And even then it was like, let's say it was something like this, right? You're like, oh, how do I differentiate a fake plant like this? Different pots, different designs, different sizes, right? Going and looking at what the competition is doing. So even those products, they might not be the biggest differentiators, but they're still out there, no doubt. I can't find products to sell. Well, if we get to 4K likes and 20 shares, so make sure y'all hit that share button and tap that screen. I've never sold those fake plants, bro. But make sure you tap that screen, share the live. We'll do live product research. And then if we're at 2K likes already, but I'll wait to get to 4K because we still got to get those shares. I'll show live Amazon sales for the day. Let's go. But the second to last video that I posted discussing the most challenging parts of selling on Amazon, I would say those things are product research, hence why I created the product selection option in the AMZ Masterclass, where I'll select students' products for them based on the criteria that I use and teach. Next, I would say negotiating with manufacturers. If you have a sourcing agent, which AMZ Masterclass sourcing agent coming soon, I think that this makes it a lot easier because now you just have to deal with the sourcing agent who is then in turn going to negotiate for you. PPC was one of the things that I was worst at when I first started selling on Amazon. I would go to conferences, I would watch videos. It's funny. Keep an eye on this Easter egg. If you guys ever see the video, it's in my drafts that I'll be posting. It's a video of me getting the bestseller badge. You'll actually see in my tabs on Google, you'll see one of the tabs is YouTube, and then it says Amazon PPC. I was always constantly looking for new information about PPC, new ways to evolve my strategy, to level up my skills. I would go to conferences. Don't say this lightly. I would go spend $1,000, $1,500 at a conference. I would get a VIP ticket at a conference just to go listen to one speaker. Like there'd be conferences where there would be a PPC expert that I'd watch their videos or whatever and really want to go learn from them, see that they're at the conference, and I'd go pay the money just to go see them. And it's funny because there's people who are like, oh, I would never do that, or $1,000 to listen to one person talk for an hour. That $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever I would spend for those conferences every single time made me 10 times more money in the long term. And then last thing would be inventory management, which every seller, including myself on a new product, unless you're going to inject more capital into that product, you'll struggle with inventory management. But what you'll learn is that running out of stock is not the end all be all for your product rank or success. Competitor launched the same product as mine, and my inventory won't arrive for a month. They're racking up reviews fast. Any way I can get ahead while I wait. If your product is live, you can start getting orders for reviews. But if your product's not live, then just a waiting game. What would you do if you're only getting 10 clicks on PPC? Increase my cost per click. Let's go. So grateful for your page. So grateful for you. You're at 4K likes now. Cookie clicker paid off. Now let's get into product research. Yo, that's smart. They have device. Yo, Chris, if you're in the live, Lost, if you're in the live, all the people who are up in the lives all the time, I'm going to buy you guys one of those little click, 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 click devices. So you don't have to tap the screen. You guys can just pop in the live, get us to 10K right away. I like that. I don't know if you were being serious, but that's fire if you really do have one of those. Can you keep tapping the screen? Let's run it up. Also, we got to get to 20 shares for live product research. So run up 7 more shares. You can click the share button. Just click copy link, and it counts as a share to the algorithm. Not live yet. Waiting for the inventory to arrive. Other things I can do besides get reviews. Make sure your listing is good. Make sure you index for keywords. You can start doing keyword research for your PPC campaigns. Outside of that, like I said, a little bit of waiting. Do you increase your cost per click by increasing the bid on the keywords you're running? Yes. We want product research. Yes, sir. What's the most expensive thing you have bought for yourself? I mean, this isn't buying because I rent, but my apartment is definitely up there. Vacations, vacations, and paying some family members are my biggest expenses. Rent, vacations, and paying some family members. Outside of like payroll, stuff like that doesn't really count. But like I'm gonna start posting more on IG, so y'all make sure to follow at official Luca Basha, especially if TikTok's gonna be going away, and the YouTube, which I'm also live on right now at Luke Basha. If you try to follow at Luke Basha on IG, that's my personal account. I won't accept you. But been posting some more traveling stuff, and I'm gonna post more lifestyle content on there, not just the videos that I post on here. But like for example, I think this year alone, I'm probably in 50 G's or so on vacations. And actually, I saw a video that I really liked, so I copied it. But I have a video in my drafts showing you guys how much I spent on my Amex cards last month. So I'll post that sometime soon. Let's go. I just registered my trademark yesterday for $6.49. Nice. Thank y'all for sharing the live. You do FBA or wholesale? FBA is for every business model on Amazon. So it's not FBA or this. Wholesale is FBA, private label is FBA, arbitrage is FBA, but I do private label. What do you use for accounting? QuickBooks? I'll risk a ton of firm to do product research. I appreciate you. How can I get your opinion on the product I launched and advice and on ad strategies? If y'all want to have direct access to me to message me questions, if y'all want me to be able to look at your product listing whenever, if y'all want me to be able to look at your PPC ads, if y'all want to be able to hop on a one-on-one Zoom call with me so you can screen share your product, screen share your ads, and if y'all want to have access to the most in-depth, and I don't say that lightly, the most in-depth PPC guide out there on the internet, check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship Program in the TikTok bio. How to know which variation is selling the most out of the month sales on Jungle Scout. Yeah, unfortunately, as you know, it'll show you the same sales for all of them. The best way to see is based on like the 100 plus or the 50 plus bot badge. That's a good way to manually check. And yes, I'm manually spamming my finger. Let's go. Do you lose rank if your product gets removed for intellectual property case? Yes. Do you recommend Vine program or getting reviews from friends? Both. I already scheduled a call. Does the masterclass come with product selection? So there's two packages. There's the package with product selection and the package without. The product with product or the package with product selection is 4K USD. The package without product selection is 2K USD. All righty. So give me 30 seconds, then we're going to do some product research live. TikTok, nope, this is YouTube. YouTube, I love you. Going to be going live every single day while I'm going live on TikTok. Going to be answering the questions from TikTok mainly until we start running up the views on YouTube. And for my TikTok peeps, I'm going to be going live every single day on YT as well. So make sure that y'all are subscribing. Make sure that you guys look out for the lives on there, because hope for the best, prepare for the worst. TikTok is likely going to be going away January 19th, 2025 here in the US. I have some things that I'm working on to still potentially try to use it, but what good is that if all of you who are in the US can't use it? So we'll be doing like a live YT show. I'm sure it'll develop, honestly, probably even cooler than what it is like what it is on TikTok. So we'll maybe do like a full live show and explain real. I'm going to answer everyone's question. I'm not skipping it, and explain what do you mean TikTok is going away. This is what's so wild to me, and I'm not even saying it's on you, Titus. Like, not singling out you for not knowing, but it's just so wild to me that like such a big thing is happening and not a lot of people know about it. But in around March, a bill got put up for, it was, what is it, the Consumer Protect Act, or something like that. And essentially what it entails is a ban on TikTok in the United States unless ByteDance, which is TikTok's parent company, divests or sells the company to a US company, which TikTok has said it's not technologically, physically, or legally possible to do that. So that's not an option. And then it passed in the House, passed in the Senate, and then Mr. Byron signed it into effect. Oh, we got a YT question. We'll get to that before we end the YT as well. And then we'll do live product research. Appreciate y'all sharing and liking. But anyways, so yeah, officially, the bill means that January 19th, 2025, TikTok is gone. It's not going to be removed from our app store, or our phones, but what's going to happen is it'll be removed from the app store. And we'll still, January 20th, I'll still maybe be able to come on here and post a video. But as the app updates, we're not going to get those updates, making TikTok unusable for us here in the US. That's the end of TikTok. Currently, TikTok is fighting it in court. They just had a court date on this week, actually, September 16th on Monday. I watched the court case. It didn't really look too great, but we'll see. A decision is supposed to be made from the court before the first week of January. And then from my understanding, whoever loses the case, whether it's TikTok or whether it's the US government, is going to appeal it to the Supreme Court. It's not guaranteed that the Supreme Court will even take the case. And from there, we see where it plays out. First, I'm hearing that big opportunity I feel for an American to swoop in. Like I said, TikTok will not sell the company. They said it's not technologically possible. It's not legally possible. It's not physically possible for them to sell the app, to divest the US version to a US company. From my understanding, if they do that, it would be like a shell. It would literally just be like, imagine having the app TikTok with the logo, but nothing within the app. So it wouldn't be the TikTok that we all love and use. We'll see how it plays out. Pray for TikTok. But being that it probably will, be gone, considering that the bill has passed, make sure to go show some love to the YT. Before we end the YT, I have a question. How do you grow your Amazon business without loans or credit cards? You would do that just slowly. Like, I started my very first business with $4,900, and for that product, I didn't invest any more money into growing it. So, like I said, we're answering the YT question, come back to TikTok and do live product research. So injected that first 4,900, sold out. I had to, slowly make a slightly larger order for my next order, and I continued to do that. But very quickly, I was able to establish something called net terms with my manufacturer. And so there can be net 15 terms, net 30 terms, net 90 terms. But what this is say you have net 15 terms or net 30 terms. This means that I can place an order for a product. My manufacturer will produce it. My manufacturer will ship it, and I don't have to pay the invoice until, if it's net 30 days after the product arrives. So think of all that, like the lead time that you have to have that money on hand for if you're going to be ordering another product. But with net terms, you're able to kind of push that back as you're getting orders and your account level reserve is cashing out on Amazon. YouTube, I love you. I'll be going live every single day, so y'all make sure that you tune in for the live Amazon Q&A. And TikTok, like I said, y'all make sure that you go show some love to the to the YT at Luke Basha, same as my